Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. So let us continue with that chapter, that is Introduction to C++. In our previous video class we have started with the topic structure of C++ program. So we have discussed the first three sections there, comment or the document section. So comment or the document section helps the programmer to understand what each statement does in the program, or you can even give the comments to the name of the program also. Suppose if I have to give the single line comment, it should be forwarded with the double slash like this, and then if it is multi-line comments, if it is there, then it should start with the forward slash asterisk followed by the comment and then close with the asterisk and then followed by the slash. So like this, not only the program name, that is each sentence also you can give the comment. So this is input the value of the radius, no? So you can provide the comment here, right? Ask the user to enter the value. Like this, it's a single line. So I'll give the double slash here, ask the user to enter the value. Like this, each and every line you can give. Like for here, I can give the comment here, that is to calculate the area of circle. I can give one more comment like this, forward slash, okay, I can give like this and write to calculate the circumference of a circle. Like each statement you can give the comments. Then we have seen the linker section. Linker section always begins with the hash include, which is nothing but the preprocessor directive, which tells the compiler to include this header files with our main program, isn't it? Then next we are having the definition section. So here if I have to define any kind of constants or the expressions, if I have to define it, okay, then you can make you can define it in the definition section by having the hash define, okay, by having the hash define followed by the variable name and then the value. So always when you define it in the definition section, the variable pi will always have a static value, that is 3.1415. You need not to use this value. Instead, if you just use this variable, the variable will be replaced with this particular value. That means if you are defining it, pi value has to be as a constant in the definition section. Now this definition section is completely an optional. If your program requires any constants to be defined, then only you can have this definition section, otherwise you can skip this part. Moving on to the very next important, as per this is the global declaration section. Global declaration section means if you want the variable to be accessed throughout the program, then you can go for the global declaration section. Otherwise, suppose in the main function we know that int a is equal to 10, comma b is equal to 20. When you declare those variables within the main function, their scope lies between only these two brackets. Their scope lies between only these two brackets, and outside these brackets I cannot access those variable. But in case of global declaration section, if any variable int x is equal to 20, if you declare it here, throughout the program you can access irrespective of the main function. Even outside the main function also you can access the variable which is being declared in the global declaration section. And always global declaration section always appear here before the main functions where the variable has to be declared, or any other function if you want, if your program is using, then also you can declare it in the global declaration section, where the scope of the such variables remain throughout that function and can be used by any other programs and any other functions in the program. So whatever the variables you are declaring here could be used by any other programs in the functions, okay. Again, this global declaration section is again it's an optional. Suppose if you are having global declaration section, that comes here before the main function, whatever the variables you are declaring globally can be accessed throughout the program. Now here, for example, we have three variables: radius, circumference and area. Their scope means scope in the sense what, we can access these variables only within this brackets. Outside the braces, we cannot access these variables because their scope, these are said to be as local variables. These are referred to as local variables, okay, whose scope or whose access remains within this brackets. But in case of global declaration section, if any of the variable int x is equal to 10, if I had declared in the global declaration section, that value can be accessed throughout the program. Here also you can access, even after the braces also you can access and print that particular variable. That is what is the global declaration section, but it is an optional. If your program needs such any global declaration section, then you can use, otherwise you may need not to use that global declaration section. Fine, moving on to the next, the very important, the main function. Here this is the main function. As per this is the main function. So this instruction, this main function actually marks the beginning of the main function, and usually it contains the statements which are to be performed any specific task. It consists of all the executable statements. These are said to be as executable statements, wherein they have to perform some specific task. So always remember, the main function, this statement is always executed first by the compiler when exactly the program starts. Always compiler executes the main function first when the program it has been started. And it is also important, we should know that in a program there will be only one main function. So a program cannot have more than one function, that is main function. It can have only the one main function, and always remember the execution starts always from this point, and this main function always beginning, it marks the beginning of the main program. And what all it consists? It consists of all the executable statements. So this is what about the main function. Next is the braces. So this flower bracket indicates its opening braces, and this one always indicates it is a closing braces, and always the main function will be enclosed within opening and the closing braces. Moving on to the next part, that is the declaration section, that is actually variable declaration section. Now what is this variable declaration section? So this variable declaration section allows you to declare the variable and its data type. Look here, radius is a variable. It has been declared along with its data type, which is integer. That represents what? Radius is the variable that can hold the whole numbers only, that is the numbers without any fractional part. Similarly, we have two variables, let us circumference and area. Okay, it is short form I have written, circumference and area. Okay, whose data type is float. That means what? It can have the real numbers, that means the numbers with the fractional part. Therefore, this variable declaration section allows you to declare the variables along with its data type. Now what happens when I declare the variables here? It always help the compiler in order to allocate the memory space into the computer. As in my doubt clarification we have discussed, when we declare any variable, memory allocation takes place. So how much memory allocation takes place? For this is integer, this is 2 bytes, float is of 4 bytes, and each of 4 bytes here. So totally here how many? 8 bytes plus 2 bytes, so 10 bytes. Total memory allocation will be done for these variables will be 10 bytes. So 2 bytes for radius, okay, 4 bytes for circumference, and for area it is 4 bytes. Understood? So total 10 bytes memory allocation will be done in the computer memory. So here the variables which are being declared within these braces, within this block, we can even refer them it as a block. The variables which are being declared within this block, the life or the scope of such variables will remain only within this block. That's what I was telling. Now these are referred to be as local variables because their lifespan or the scope remains only within these braces. I cannot access life in the sense what? I cannot access with these variables outside the outside the main function. Okay, their scope exists only within this. So within this block only I can read them, I can print, I can do any of the calculation, but outside if I access, it will start giving me an error. Then which kind of variables we can access outside? Only the global variables which are being declared before the main function. Only such variables can be accessed within the main function plus even the outside. That means their scope remains throughout the program, and here the local variable scope remains only within this particular block. That is what is variable declaration section. I hope students you are able to understand. Let us move on to the next one, that is the executable statement section. Here what happens? So these executable statement section, as I said, they will be always written within the main function. Okay, these statements can include the expressions, they may include the input output function statements, it may include the conditional statements or any such of looping statements also it can include. That means here in this example we are including what? Expression statements, isn't it? We are including expressions. So area is equal to pi into radius into radius, c circumference 2 into pi into radius. So this is expression statement. Now these are input and output statement. Input is what? C in is an input statement, isn't C out is an output statement. So these executable statements always written within the main function, and what all it can include? It includes the expression, it can include the input output statements, it can include the conditional statements or the looping statement. So as and when the different examples we will be discussing, I'll tell you what are the conditional and the looping statement. So this was all about the executable statements. Understood? Next. So here what happens? We are calculating the area, and here we are having the calculating for the circumference of circle, and after calculating, okay, so after calculating we are trying to print this. So let me explain. Now this completes actually the complete explanation about the structure of the C++ program. Here we have seen what is the comment or the document section. Next we have seen what is linker section. Next comes the definition section. Next is global declaration section, if any. Okay, then compulsory is a main function. See here, the comment or document section is optional. Linker section is a compulsory. Definition section is optional, global is optional, main function is compulsory, variable declaration section is compulsory, executable section is been compulsory, okay, and these braces are also compulsory. So in the examination they will be asking you to write the structure of C++ program. Therein you have to write the structure. Now there is no any explanation regarding the subroutine section, but still you need to write this complete structure, explain this with an example here, and then followed by this is what you have to give the explanation. Just now what all explanation I gave, so this includes this complete explanation. So this completes your 5 marks question. Sometime they may ask you just explain the structure of C++ program. In that case just write this structure and then explain this. Okay, fine, let me explain this example. Now this is a program to find the area and circumference of a circle. So we are including, instead of stdio it should be an iostream.h. By mistakenly I have written here iostream.h. stdio.h is also one of the library function. Okay, then conio.h. Here I want certain variable to make it as constant, therefore I have defined it in definition section. But definition section always begin with the hash define followed by the variable name and then followed by the that is the digit number constant. Okay, then void main, this is a structure I need to follow like this only. So void main function, open the flower bracket, then I want to calculate what? Area and circumference of a circle. To calculate the area of a circle, what is the formula? That is pi r square. Am I right? Pi is already there, but I want the radius. I need to tell the compiler that I am going to use a variable known as radius. Therefore, I am declaring radius, and what data type it should have? You have to decide whether you can take it as integer, you can even take it as float also. So I will take it here it as an integer. Then what else I have? After calculate, radius is enough. Even if you can take the circumference also, 2 pi r. Only thing is r we want the required from the user. Apart from that, pi value, everything is there. But when you calculate the area, you need a variable to store the answer. When you calculate the circumference, you need you need a variable to store the answer. Therefore, what I am doing is I have to declare both the variables. Circumference, why I am taking float? Because always circumference and area comes in terms of points, right? So therefore, we know that the answer may come in the floating. Instead of taking the integer, I have taken it as float. If I have taken the integer, after the calculation, the complete fractional part will be completely truncated. I would not get an efficient answer. Therefore, I am declaring that with a float. Understood? Then C out, it's a console output, it's a printing statement. Then input the value of radius. I am asking the user, and then when the user types suppose he types as a 5. So when the user types the radius as 5 from his keyboard, the 5 value will be accepted by the cin operator and it will store it into the memory. Isn't it? That is what is cin operation. It will accept the data whatever the user enters from the keyboard. Therefore, it is console input. Understood? Then next what happens after we after we declare the variables, after we have asked the user to enter the value radius, we have read it. Next step is what? Calculation. You have to write the expression. That is how it is, pi into r, that is radius into radius. So calculation takes place, and that calculations you are storing into a variable known as area. While writing, we are writing as area is equal to pi into r, radius into radius you can write. Understood? But how the calculation happens? First the right hand side calculation, then assigned it to the left hand side. What is the associativity for assignment operator? It is right to left. I hope you are able to understand. Right? Then again circumference also I am calculating, that is equal to 2 pi r, that is 2 pi radius. R in the sense I have taken it as radius here. Here you can say even int r is also fine. After calculation, what will be then my next step is to print the output. So C out, the area of circle is, where is my answer? In which variable? This variable, no? So C out, this is a syntax. Later in new chapter we shall study how to write this. So this is a syntax in double quotes. Now this is a string. Am I right, students? String constant, string it is. So any sequence of characters which are enclosed in double quotes said to be as a string. So the area of circle is double quotes. Okay, then this is a stream insertion operator it is. Okay, we shall study in the new chapter. Then where is my answer? My answer is in area. So this we have to specify this variable, and then stream insertion, and then this is \n. This is an escape sequence character. That means I want the area of circle to be printed in one line, and the whatever the area of the circumference of a circle should be printed into the new line. Therefore, I have taken this escape sequence character, that is new line character \n. Okay, and then afterwards again I am printing the circumference. So circumference of a circle is I am printing. So where is my answer is in the variable circumference, that is CIR. Okay, and then \n, and I am closing my main program. When I execute this particular program, I'll get the answer is the area of circle is whatever the calculation, whatever depending upon what value you are passing to the radius, that much I'll get, and circumference of circle also I'll get depending upon what value you are passing as a radius. I hope students the explanation is clear for you all. Now let us move on to the new topic, that is the header files. So header files is nothing but #include. Header files always starts with an #includes. So these are nothing but the preprocessor directive which are being defined in the linker section of the program. Now I hope you are able to understand in which section these header files belong to. They belong to the linker section. So this #include is a directive. It actually instructs the compiler in order to read whatever the contents are there. Suppose for example IOStream. So this #include is a preprocessor directive. It actually tells the compiler to read what all the functions are there in this particular file and include this particular file and link with our current file. That means include this particular file. So including this conio.h and stdio.h, include this file, read what are the contents, and then include this file with our main program, link with our main program. That's what the #include says. #include is nothing but the preprocessor directive. So the compiler completely compiles the entire code. There are two ways actually. There are two ways to define the header files. The #include iostream.h in this way. So in this whatever file name if you are mentioning within the angle brackets means that file or the standard that file or the standard include directory. Okay, it will, that file resides in the standard include directory. So if I am writing with this angle brackets, if I am writing means it says that IOStream is a file that has been included in a standard directory. It has been included in the standard. There are all inbuilt standard directories are there. Okay, so otherwise you can even refer in this way. If we are without including angle brackets, if we are writing and if we are mentioning the double quotes, it means that what, this IOStream is a file that exists within the same current directory, it says. So if I am including in angle brackets, it says that the file IOStream resides in the standard directory known as include directory. If it is included in the double quotes, it says that file is in the current directory, but we always follow this method of including the header files. I hope students the concepts are clear to you. Moving on to the next functions, that are library functions. Very important and a very interesting topic it is. As I always says that C++ will be having the inbuilt functions and all. So we have the inbuilt functions such as mathematical functions. We have C type, string.h functions we are having. Now what is the use of this inbuilt function? See here, we have the library or the inbuilt function. What are the use of these functions? They always saves the programming time. Instead of finding the log of the base 10, it is very difficult. The square root of 2 raised to 25, it takes certain time for us to calculate, right? But if I just use square root of 25, if I write, automatically within a fraction of milliseconds it will calculate and give me. Therefore it saves the programming time. There we have the different kinds of library functions, like mathematical functions we have like character functions, we have string functions, we have console input output functions, some other standard library functions are also there. Now let us start with an mathematical functions first here. The first mathematical functions, inbuilt functions, is sine of x. This represents sine of an angle x which are being measured in terms of radians. What are radians is equals to what? Degrees into 3.142 divided by 180. Isn't it? All your trigonometric functions, they work in terms of radians rather than in terms of degrees, right? And always remember these trigonometric always functions take the data type double, not even integer, not the float. Float is having up to after decimal point, only after decimal point 7 digit it can show, 6 to 7 digits it can display, but double it has the precision up to 14. After decimal point up to 14 digits the double data type can show. That means so much accuracy it will show the result what is being calculated. So usually all these trigonometric functions take the data type as double. So therefore sine of x represents the sine of the angle x, where x is measured in terms of radians rather than the degrees. Similarly we have cos of x, we have tan of x, we have, this is sine inverse, a sine, like in maths you say sine inverse, no? Same way we have in terms of programming concept, we say it as sine inverse only, but it is, the name is a sine it is. Similarly cos inverse has been represented here in this way. Exponential function of x is represented here. Logarithm of x, here logarithm of x to the base 10 has been represented in this way. Square root of x, here x might be anything, square root of 30, 50, 100, it might be anything, it will just find you the square root of 100 if you are giving. Then power of, this is always I said, if I want to know the 2 raised to 50, what is the value of 2 raised to 50? X is raised to the power y means what? X is the base, that is 2, y is the power, that is 50. So power of 2 comma 50, in which the fraction of a second it will calculate the answer if you are using. Then this is the absolute value of integer x, then this is the absolute value of real number. So absolute value of integer number means, suppose if they are having the negative numbers, I want to remove that sign, then I can go for an absolute value of x. So floating point, this is f abs in the sense it's a floating point, that is what is real numbers, you can make these numbers to be in terms of positive, where they will be representing in the form of negative. So all these comes under the mathematical functions. I hope students you are able to understand. Okay, so moving on to the next one, that is the character functions. It is very important from your exam point of view. Comparatively to the mathematical functions, character functions are very important. So here, to use these, here in previous, to use these all mathematical functions, we need to use an header file known as #include math.h, like how we are having here iostream.h. This indicates what? Input output stream.h, that is means console input and console output. Those are the operators, those are the functions I am taking from the iostream. Similarly, #include math.h, when this header file, when you include, then only all these library functions we can use in our programming language without any without any kind of interchange, without any kind of interference, we can directly use only when you include the library functions. If you don't include that particular header file, means automatically the compiler starts giving an error. Sorry students. Moving on to the next one, that is character functions. Suppose if I have to use these character functions, built-in character functions, I need to include an header file known as #include ctype.h. Okay, #include ctype.h. If you are including this, any of these built-in functions, character functions, you can use. Now the first one is alpha of c. Alpha of c means what? Is alpha, and you are specifying a character here. Okay, so I'll show you with an example. So it actually returns true if a c is an alphabet. It's not an uppercase, it is misprinted here. Okay, it returns true if c is an alphabet, and it returns false if c is not an alphabet. Please make a correction. This one, it returns true if c is an alphabet, and it returns false if c is not an alphabet. Okay, so please make the correction. Even in your textbook also it has been given wrong. Is alpha means it returns true if c is an alphabet, else returns false if c is not an alphabet. Now this one I'll explain with an example, programming example here. Students, for your sake, I have executed the program here. I've written here, this is the header file. So iostream is a basic one which I required for cout and cin, and then conio.h I require it for clear screen and get ch, and then I have included an header file known as ctype.h here. I have included because I am going to demonstrate the program to show you how is alpha is being used. Then what I am doing, clear screen I'll do. Because of this function, what happens, previously whatever programs I have executed, the command prompt, this is the command prompt where we are executing the C++ program. So everything will be erased, and now if you are executing this program, only the output of this program I can see. That is the use of the clear screen. Next step is variable declaration. This is the linker section. As I said, comment and the document section is optional, so I can avoid it. Linker section is a mandatory. Then definition and global declaration is an optional, so my program doesn't need, so I don't include this. Main function is important, opening the flower braces, okay, and then you are using this clear screen, and then variable declaration section is a mandatory one. So here I am declaring a variable of C of data type as character. Then I am asking the user to enter the character. Remember students, this is an output statement, that is console output. Now whatever, this is a string, whatever you give in the output statement, no, the same thing will be printed onto your output screen. Okay, then cin stands for console input. Now as per this example, I have entered the letter as U. When I enter the letter U from my keyboard, this U will be accepted by the cin and it will store it into the memory. After that, what I am doing, I am using, this is a conditional statement. This is a conditional statement. Yes or no? In executable statements, what it is given, we can executable statements can include the expression, it can even include the conditional statements. Am I right? So this is an example. If is alpha of C, this means what? If is alpha of C means what? Whatever C character, whatever the character you have entered, I am applying what? Is alpha of. It is an inbuilt function that checks whether the entered character is an alphabet or not. If so, if my entered character is an alphabet, then it should print me as it is an alphabet. Else it should print me as it is not an alphabet. Okay, and then get ch. Don't worry about this get ch. Later I'll explain, and then close the flower bracket. Remember, this is what if condition. If this condition is true, then the true part of the statement will be executed. Else the false part of the statement is executed. If bracket, in bracket we should, what we are trying to check, whether the entered character is alphabet or not. So once I write this code, I'll compile it in the sense what? Compiler will check the syntax and the semantics, plus it checks if any errors are there. If any errors are there, it will give me error as 1 and I have to rectify it. So once the errors are been completely rectified, it gives me an error as 0. Then I can go for to run the code. First you should remove the errors from the code. After, once the errors we get as 0, okay, just this is one more screenshot, okay, then I can go for the execution. Now the first thing what happens, enter the character, it will ask me. Enter the character, then I will enter, this is what, as U I will enter. When I enter as U, automatically it gives an output. Now how the execution takes place, this is U, what you enter the character, the user have entered is U. U will be stored in a variable known as C. Okay, then what it checks, if is alpha of C, no, it is if is alpha of, what does C consist of? C holds the variable as U. If is alpha of U, that means it is checking whether it is entered character U is an alphabet or not. Yes, it is an alphabet. Therefore, it should execute me the true part of the statement as it is an alphabet. Therefore, I got it as an alphabet. Now, second output I have executed. This time I have entered as 4. Enter the character, it will ask. I have entered the number as 4. Again, what it will check? You have entered 4. So, 4 is been entered, 4 is been there in a variable known as C. So, if is alpha of C means what? If is alpha of 4 it is. Is it the condition true? No. 4 is not an alphabet, isn't it? Then it will skip the true part and directly it will execute the false part, that it is not an alphabet. Hence, I'll go ahead and it is not an alphabet. I hope students you are able to understand. Now, this is alpha. It returns true if only the entered character is an alphabet, else it returns false, the entered character is not an alphabet. True means what? This part of the statement is executed. False means this part of the statement is executed. If I had just said you is alpha, it is used to be used for to check the character as to check the entered character is alphabet or not, you may not understand. So therefore, with a programming example, I have made you to understand. These programs are not there for your examination, just for your understanding purpose it has been demonstrated. So only thing is you should know this particular table. The rest of the function we shall discuss in our next video, students. Till that, take care of yourself, keep watching the videos and solve the assignment. Thank you.